Me. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 23 of Black Ops 3 Mod Tools. Now, on this video, I'm going to show you guys what layers are. Some people know what they are, some people heard of them. It's like a myth, but I'm going to show you guys how to use them today. All right, so let's open up Radiant and let's get it on, people. All right, so right now, I just made a basic room and it has a sun volume. Now, I'm going to show you what layers are and what they can do. So right now, and often when you're trying to select your room, you go like that. You left click and you end up selecting the sun. It's a pain in the ass. It always gets in the way, no matter what. It could be the sun, it could be uh, start zone volume, could be FPS tool, could be the sky. Shit like this always ticks me off because it gets right in the way and it stops me from doing my thing. All right, so I'm going to show you how to turn this into a layer and make sure it disappears and it only comes back when you need it. All right, so press L on the keyboard. There you go. And it brought up the layers window. Sit right here. It's magical. It's the bomb. All right, so if you look at the layers window, right at the top you see the map. Now, the map is actually a layer, but it's actually your whole map. Now, let's say if I didn't have anything selected and I checked on these two blue boxes, it'll make everything in my map disappear. Made the room disappear, made the sun volume disappear. And if I want to bring it back, I just click on it again, make sure this H disappears, because that H stands for hide. It's the same as selecting an item and pressing H on the keyboard. And then, you would press Shift H to bring it back. But under layers, it would not bring it back unless you click it. So that's a cool way of hiding everything. Now let's create our own layer and see what we can do. All right, so I'm gonna go to create new layer. And this layer, I'm gonna create it for the sun. So you can call it whatever you want. Me, I'm just gonna call it sun volume. That way I know what it is. Press OK. And as you can see, it created a layer for me with the name sun volume, which I put. All right, now I'm gonna click on the sun volume. There it is, it's selected. I'm gonna right click on the layer I just made. And I'm gonna go to add selected. Click on that. Now if I press escape, the sun is still here. But if I check the blue boxes, it makes it disappear. And I can continue mapping, select whatever I want, and the sun's not going to be in the way. Now that's one cool way of using the layers. Now let's say if I check this little circle that's right next to the two blue boxes. If I check that, it actually stops launcher from compiling it and it won't show up in game. So let's say if let's see, right now I'm in my room. Select all the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a new layer and I'm gonna call it start room because as if this was my start room. So start room, bow. That's my new layer. All right, now right click it with the items I want to be as a layer for this start room. I make sure they're selected and I go to add selected. There you go. Now I added it to that layer. So let's say I'm in the room and if I hit the two blue boxes, it makes my room disappear. Now let's say if I press I. Let me make sure the sun's not selected. Oop, I gotta hit it. There we go. All right, so now I have my room selected, and I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna make a room 2. Now let me make a new layer for this. Call it room 2. Press OK. Make sure it's selected. Right click it. Go to add selected. Bow. All right, now I'm gonna copy it. Make a brand new one. There we go. Now this is gonna be my room 3. I'm gonna make a new layer, just like I did before, and call it whatever you want. Room 3. Press OK. right click it, add selected. Now, if I hit escape, now as you can see, I have 3 rooms. Now, let's say my map is getting pretty big and it's hard to see what I'm doing. Now, I can just select, well, actually, I can make everything a layer and I can work on the room I want to work on. So let's say if I'm working on the start room and I don't want to see room 2 and room 3 because when I go from a side view, it's kind of distorts the way I can see it. So let's say if I check room 2 and room 3 and bow, now I just have one room, the room I'm working on. Now let's say if I select the walls and I put those as a layer and right now I'm in start room. So I'm gonna click on start room, right click it, go to create layer. It's gonna create a layer under start room. So this one I'm gonna call it walls. Press OK. Leave these walls selected. Right click on walls, add selected, hit escape. Now didn't do anything, but like let's say if I click on the 2 blue boxes next to wall, it hides them and it left the floor and the ceiling. That way it won't be blocking my view of doing something. Now let me check on it again, bring it back. Now let's say if I want to retexture the walls and I don't want to select every brush. So what I could do is right click on walls, go to select all, and it'll select all the walls for me. That way I can just go over the textures and give it a new texture and give it whatever I want. Now that's a cool way of selecting things. And also, let's say if you have a prefab in your map. So let me right click, let me put in a prefab. It's prefab, CM core, and let's put in the dog spawners. Well, let me just double click it. There you go. They're my doggies. What up, buddy? Ugh, you need a bath. All right, so let's say if I turn the dog into a layer, I can just go to the map, go to create layer, call it doggy, whatever you want. Select the dog, and then right click it, go to add selected, hide them, and that's it. And you bring them back whenever you want them. Now let's say if I click on the green circle, he won't show up in game because I hit him. That's what happens when it shows that stop sign on the circle. That means that when you compile your map, it's not going to show up at all, as if you never made it. But if you uncheck it and then you compile and you save, it'll show up. So that's a cool way of using layers. You can basically do it for anything, and it'll speed up your pretty much your mapping. Now, anytime you add a prefab, it shows up under layers. So if I go to prefabs over here, remember I never added that. So let me click on this drop down box. And as you can see, it shows my dog layer. So I can hide them here too. Wow, see? Let's say if I want to look for the prefab and I want to go into it, click on enter prefab. And I can modify the prefab. Move around the pieces, hit escape. And that's pretty much it. You can use layers to select certain items. That way you could retexture them or basically hide the sun, hide rooms, show rooms, select objects in the room. It works to your benefit. And if you start using this, you're going to notice that your mapping experience is going to go a lot faster. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.